I'm with Lucy today, and she lives in the middle of White River Township. What is your connection to the land, and what is your history with the township?
I grew up in Montague. I grew up on Lake Michigan, and after graduating high school, I moved away. I've been living in Grand Rapids, and just a year and a half ago, I moved back to the area. I always wanted to come back to the area, and it just so happened that I was able to purchase my Aunt Kit's house. So this is where I am now. And I own about 3.3 acres of property, and it is surrounded by cornfields and various crop fields. There's trees, there's pasture, there's a lot of land. It's an idyllic setting. I'm set back from Fruitvale Road, and it's absolutely everything that I was looking for, because I do want to eventually have some animals and have a horse.
Did you know when you purchased the property that there was a proposal for a 1,700 acre solar array that would be literally surrounding you 360?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I remember at one of the earlier meetings last December, I think it was at Montague High School, when a lot of this was being discussed. It was basically a whole town hall meeting, and I took a look at the map that was presented as to where these arrays were going to be placed. And I remember going to someone on the township board and saying, wait a minute, this is where I am. Are you telling me that all of this red area is proposed solar field? And she said yes. I felt gutted, absolutely gutted. Everywhere you look, this is my property to the east. According to that map and according to what is being proposed, all of this would be silver. All of this would be aluminum solar panels, as far as you can see.
And including the little tiny trees in the background.
Absolutely. That's how far it extends.
Lucy and I have moved to the west side of her property, and she's going to explain the significance of these fields here.
So, looking out this way, this is due west, and going to the north, and then also moving to the south. When you look at all of this, this is all on the map to be converted into solar panels. This is what we're looking at for this solar project, as far literally as your eye can see.
In addition to the east side that we
In addition to the east side.
This is the opposite side.
This is the opposite side, but all of this would also be solar panels. And it's important to note that even the tree line and the trees, these were also, according to that map, slated to be removed.
And the map is was given to the township by National Grid. So this is a map that's
Yes.
from the renewable company.
Yes. So for my piece of property, I would be surrounded by solar panels 360. Absolutely. North, south, east, and west, of which I had no idea when I moved here. And it absolutely blows my mind that somebody could say it's okay to blanket so much of what we see in solar panels and in basically a solar factory. Because what plants do, plants harvest sun. When plants grow and we harvest those crops and we consume what has grown there, that's harvesting the sun. The solar panels are simply manufacturing the sun's rays. It's a completely different process. This would be a factory. And this is not what people bought in for when they invested in this land, in this township. And there are farmers around here that want to farm. They want to keep their land in agriculture. They want to farm it. They want to use it. And they don't want their land values to be diminished. What would my property be if all of this is solar panels?
You also have the two very close neighbors here. I would say that one is a quarter of a mile and that one's less than a half of a mile. That would also be surrounded. So
Everything.
This is the issue about the placement of this massive array, which would be at 1,700 acres, would be the second largest in Michigan, next to the Shiawassee Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3 plant, which is 1,900 acres. We're a high population density township, and we are here in this predicament because we have some very strong electrical system and a huge electrical power plant connected to DuPont, which is what they're connecting into ultimately. And DuPont has left us with 1,300 acres of non-usable toxic land that neither DuPont nor the state has made any effort to try to clean up 60 years later.
Yeah.
So we have the 1,700 acre proposed industrial solar power plant and the 1,300 acres of the toxic gift that DuPont left after a generational mistake of trusting them. You add that into, and we subtract that from our 10,000 acres, and it's well over 30% of our township would be industrial, even though we have a very, very tiny portion zoned for industrial. So it's concerning.
It's very concerning. I am not at all against renewable resources, but as you just stated, it's way out of scale for the size of our township. When these panels go in, there's no disposition for them when they are finished. There is no plan to deal effectively with all of that metal and with all of those cells and what they entail. Where do those wind up? Nobody knows.
Well, Michigan, according to EPA site, Michigan does not have one recycle center for solar panels. So this is mind-boggling that the state is in this rush to get to industrial size, large-scale solar without having any way. There's no end use, being taken care of here.
No.
And we're talking 770,000 solar panels just in this array alone. So we're talking billions of solar panels statewide.
Exactly. And this, to me, it sounds a lot like a land grab. It is just a free-for-all land grab if it is going to go to the state to determine where these solar panels go up. Everybody can kiss their land goodbye if you are adjacent to an agricultural field. And this, what about the blueberry fields? What about cherry crops? What about all our fruit crops? Michigan is known for fruit. What happens to all of that? It doesn't make any sense. It is just, it's absurd. It is absolutely absurd. And when you are talking about renewable resources, we want to lower our carbon footprint. We want to reduce global warming. Removing the green is going to increase the global warming of any area more than anything. If we keep ripping out the green, removing crops, removing trees, removing anything that can sequester carbon, when we remove this and we cover it with metal, we aren't doing really as much as we think we are doing, what we think we're going to do by increasing solar panels. There is no balance, and there has to be some kind of balance between the industrialization of solar panels and where we're putting them and preserving the land and the forage and the trees and everything that can actually help cool things down, literally.